Welcome back to the Sales Doc. Have you been wanting to start a business and just can't seem to get started because you don't have the time and you don't have the money? Well, that is the same scenario for our caller today.
Hey Amy, my name is Levi. I'm from Canada and I am an accountant. But, I've been dreaming of starting my own business, but I always feel like I just don't have the time or the money to really get into it. So I'm just wondering how do I take that first step into entrepreneurship?
Oh, that's a great question, Levi. And by the way, great name. That is also my son's name. So let's dig into this. Sometimes when you're wanting to start a business, it really is hard to jump all the way in. And a side hustle might really be a good next step for you. So a couple things that it's going to do for you. It is going to allow you to test the waters with business. There are a lot of skills that you have to learn in business. So we can talk about that, how a side hustle can kind of just give you some of those important basic skills. And then let's also, Levi, dive into what are the different types of side hustles available so you can kind of figure out which one might be good for you. And it honestly, I like side hustle's the new buzzword these days. I feel like everybody's got a side hustle. And I get it because during the pandemic, a lot of people experience the fact that their job is not quite as secure as they thought it was, but at the same time, they know that without it, they have no security. So this idea of a side hustle allows you to be able to step into entrepreneurship while still keeping your security and testing out your business skills. So I think this is a good conversation to have, and I appreciate you asking the question. Okay, so let's talk about the transition into entrepreneurship. In order to jump in, you need to have money and you need to have time. And it is really hard, if not impossible, to start a business without money and time. What the side hustle is going to do for you is it's going to help you start managing your time better, because right now you probably feel maxed for time, but honestly, you also watch a lot on Netflix. I'm not calling you out, Levi. I'm just saying we in general. We still, scroll on social media. We still waste time. And so the side hustle is going to cause you to start really focusing your time and recognizing what you actually do have available. And then it's going to actually make you money without costing a lot of money, which is great because then you can start sacking away your side hustle money in order to invest into your business when you get to that place. You're going to need to learn business skills for this side hustle, and this is a great place to test it while not having as much risk as I quit my job and now I'm going to invest my life saving into this business. And yet I have no idea how to market or sell or do anything, but I'm just, fingers crossed. This is going to give you a little bit of a safer path. And the good thing is, while you're on this safer path, you're still going to be getting a paycheck. So even if in your side hustle, it doesn't go the way that you thought it would, you're going to be okay. I really think one of the things that we have to allow ourselves to do to be successful as business owners is make mistakes and try and fail. If we need every move to be a win, and it has to be, or we're going to die or drown in debt, then we're not going to allow ourselves the space to experiment that has to happen to create success. So this is kind of like a security blanket as you dip your toe in, which is good. A lot of people need that. Another thing that I will just throw out there is that most successful entrepreneurs that I know did not succeed big in their first venture. Usually the first was kind of a flop, and it's oftentimes the third or fourth different idea or iteration of entrepreneurship where they really make it and it all comes together. So why not go through those bumps and bruises and the learning curve in a side hustle versus your own thing that you really, really want to make work? So here's a couple of my favorite side hustles that transition well into entrepreneurship. Okay, there are side hustles where it's just something you do on the side and you get paid, and it's almost just like a more flexible job. I want to talk about the side hustles that I feel transition you into entrepreneurship. Number one is doing sales for another company. Sales is one of the most important skills that you need to learn in order to be successful as a small business owner. And it gives you the space to learn that skill, isolate the skill of learning to sell for somebody else. And you make a lot of money doing sales. If you're good at it, your commissions will be great. So spend some time learning and mastering that skill, collect those commission checks, and then you don't have to do any fulfillment. That is actually one of the best moves that I ever made in my business. Was I spent a couple of years just running a sales team for another trainer, and I learned a ton. Next is going to be direct sales and network marketing. The reason why I like this is because your startup cost is really low. And I know you might be like, oh, but it costs $100 to get the starter kit, or I have to buy, $2,000 worth of inventory. Oh my gosh, who cares? Do you know that you would pay like $2,000 to $5,000 to get your website and branding done if you're starting your own business? Like, it's cheap, guys. It's cheap. And what I love about it is you have this built-in support and training network. I got my start in direct sales. That is where I initially learned about leadership and team building. It's where I initially learned about sales, even though I was really bad at it when I worked for them. I didn't learn about marketing. I wish I would have. I did learn confidence, though, in talking to strangers. So it built a lot of business skills that then helped me, and I could take those. And I'm telling you, I would not have been ready to say yes to entrepreneurship if I hadn't had those years of development inside of the direct sales company. Now, if you're going to take that route, here's my warning. Do not go into it thinking you're going to get rich off of your friends and family and not have to do work. You do have to work. The great thing is there's a fulfillment department that takes care of your products, and there's a marketing team that takes care of all the marketing assets, and there's very little that you have to do for like the administrative side of your business. So you can really just come in and focus on people and sales and getting good at marketing yourself and getting visible in front of people. So it's going to help build some pretty critical skills. Next is virtual assisting. So if you need to learn the admin behind the scenes sides of business, start a virtual assisting side gig where you're working for another entrepreneur who's even in your industry, right? The industry you want to go into. Find someone and do their admin work for them. You're going to learn a lot about the back-end processes for what it really takes to run a business, be building some great skills, and really just learning your industry more. Now, a lot of people who want to start a business, what it is they actually love what they do, but they want to do it for themselves instead of doing it for someone else. So what I would do in this scenario is actually try it out. Get some clients. Get them to pay you. Like, Levi, you're an accountant. Go do some people's taxes. Find some small business owners and ask if they're looking for an accountant, and just put together like a small little constituency of clients. What this is going to do is allow you to test your theory. Do you actually love being a business owner, or do you really just love being an accountant? Because a lot of times employees have this like unrealistic idea of what business ownership means. They feel like, man, I'm in the office working, and my boss is going to the beach. I should be going to the beach. I want to do what he's doing. And you don't realize how many hours you spend as a business owner that are basically just work that you're not going to get paid an hourly wage for. And there's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot at risk. And so sometimes when people try it out, they're like, oh, you know what? Actually, I really don't love being a business owner. I really love being an accountant. And you can try it out without having to quit your job and then realize that you don't want to be a business owner. So that's another strategy that you can use, or another type of side hustle that I do recommend. Now let's talk about the ones that I don't recommend. I don't recommend that you get a side job where you are just trading dollars for hours without learning the skills of entrepreneurship. That would be things like Lyft and Uber Eats and DoorDash and these delivery type services where you're just basically working and you get paid for the time that you put in, but you're very hands off with anything that has to do with learning entrepreneurship or growing the business. So there you have it, Levi, and all friends like Levi. If you are really wanting to start a business, but you don't have the time, you don't have the money, you can't really afford to take the risk yet, a side hustle is a great first step into entrepreneurship if you choose the right one. So now that you know why you should start a side hustle, the next video that you're going to want to watch is how to acquire customers without a marketing budget. This is a skill every business owner needs to know, side hustle or not. You need clients. You need to save money on your marketing. So go check out this video and learn these free strategies.